Paralogue 12 looks extremely intimidating at first. There's a lot of powerful, high-leveled enemies on the map with a ton of choke points that lets them group up easily. However, every single berserker on the map, along with the boss and one sniper, aren't able to move at all. That's 15 out of the 36 enemies at the start, meaning only 21 enemies here can pose as actual threats. They also made the levels of the stationary enemies a lot higher than the others. With the exception of the paladins, all the enemies that are able to move around are just level 2. Every enemy that can't move is either level 7 or higher. So this map is amazing for experience, even for Ryoma, who's been barely getting experience throughout his entire join time so far. Longtime viewers of my channel might remember the original clear of this map, where I didn't use any of the dragon veins to drain the water and went all the way around the sides, resulting in the house being broken down. That doesn't kill Mitama. You still get her recruited after the map is completed. But this time, I'm going to be taking a much more different approach. Immediately going straight down the middle and visiting the house 3 times with Azama, which will result in Mitama being recruited in the middle of the map. This way, I can start working on her training immediately. Before beginning, I want to highlight how ridiculous Azama's stats are. He's 3 points blessed in strength and 2 points blessed in defense, and these 2 stats are so high that he still has the highest raw strength out of every single unit in my army, and the 3rd highest defense in the army right behind Scarlet and Corrin, and Corrin's received a Draco Shield. If he were to promote into Merchant now, he would be the most physically powerful unit in the army, and it wouldn't be close. Keep in mind that he's not even at level 20 right now, and he's been on the bench since chapter 15. If I wasn't trying to get everyone married this run, I'd definitely be using him more often. Unfortunately, his skill and luck are always going to be bad, but he does get boosted skill and luck tonic bonuses if you make him an apothecary, which is one of the reasons why I recommend using one of your rare birthright heart seals on him. I haven't given my Azama any tonics here, because I'm only going to have him fight one enemy on player phase this map. With Sadness, much like my playthrough in Revelation, this map is his last hurrah. Until the next life. A majority of this map will be spent finishing Felicia's Axe rank grind. She's currently 12 attacks away from C rank, so I'll be taking the time to get a lot of kills and dual strikes with her on this turn. On turn 1, she gets 4 attacks by killing the berserker that Asugi weakened, dual striking with Jacob and Ryoma on the other berserker nearby, and then finally getting refreshed from Azura to kill the berserker that was weakened. Felicia is also conveniently one of the units that benefit the most from killing these berserkers, as she's still the most underleveled.
This should be simple.
Here we go. We've got trouble.
I welcome the challenge. Let me help.
Whoa! Yes!
Look at the situation Felicia's in now. She's currently in range of 3 enemies. One of them is an Oni chieftain that will barely get a chance to hit her, since now Felicia has Axebreaker combined with the other luck and avoid boosting factors like Inspiring Song, Rally Luck, and Ryoma's +5 avoid bonus and attack stance at B support. The other 2 enemies are a sorcerer with Ragnarok and an Omiyoji with a rabbit spirit. Those she can't survive, so I have to dispose of them on player phase. To help with that, Corrin uses the Dragon Vein to drain the water.
I'm ready.
All right.
With the dual Yumi, Azama is able to kill the sorcerer using Corrin's Steel Sword dual strike. His hit rates are only good here because Sakura and Corrin are close to him, so this will be the only time he'll have an attack that I need to rely on.
I'll protect you. Say your prayers. So it goes.
Hinoka and Sophie are the only two units that can reach the Omioji, so I picked the most resistant unit to take care of it, which is Hinoka with the Guard Naginata.
Good. No need to worry.
Felicia's now out of danger, but as a direct result, Hinoka's in a similar situation that Felicia was in. She's in range of 3 enemies, a Master Ninja in the middle, and an Oni Chieftain, and most importantly, a sniper on the right. Much like Felicia, she's able to deal with one of those attacks just fine, but more than that gets bad. There's a way I can mitigate all 3 though. First is to have Takumi move up to kill the Oni Savage. The enemies are positioned in the perfect way so that the tiles that Takumi has to stand on to kill the Oni Chieftain blocks the only tile that the sniper can attack Hinoka on. This forces the sniper to go for Takumi instead, resulting in the sniper's death. Sophie does something that looks insane. She moves up to switch Hinoka to the Brass Yumi, and then pairs up with Hinoka in enemy range. This actually manipulates the AI into not attacking Hinoka, as Corrin is also in range of the Master Ninja. Even though Hinoka survives the Master Ninja, it's preferable that he goes for Corrin, as he can only be attacked from 1 tile, and Hinoka can be attacked from 3 tiles, so it can cause some variance to my positioning in later turns if the Master Ninja goes for Hinoka. That's why Corrin isn't being switched to the bow for enemy phase, so he won't be able to counterattack and the ninja will see him as a much preferred target.
Fine. Don't be afraid. Good luck. I can help.
Not my fault you're weak. Yes.
Felicia does have to dodge here. If she doesn't dodge now, she'll have to dodge a 95 later.
I'll finish this.
This turn starts by having Felicia get 2 more points of weapon rank, as well as building a tiny amount of lance rank for Sakura. Felicia also has to dodge this attack.
I'll help you.
Ryoma and Orochi finish off the Oni Chieftain that Felicia weakened. Technically, it would be better to leave the Oni Chieftain alive so Felicia can fight it on enemy phase, but it isn't that important.
As I expected.
Master Ninjas on this map are no problem at all. With the Fujin Yumi, Takumi is able to one-shot them with perfect accuracy. I do want to show off here that Azama has 0 hit against the Master Ninjas with dual Yumi. While it is funny, I do need Takumi to take the dual Yumi for himself for a later turn, so he gets it before attacking. I need Setsuna and Hinoka to get their A support on this map, but they won't have a lot of opportunities to fight with each other, which is why I took the time to bait out the sniper in the bottom right corner. Before attacking with Setsuna, I need to make sure that Sophie is out of the picture, as even dual striking with units who are paired up would be a violation of the rules. That's what Kagero's for. The remainder of my units want to keep pushing forwards into the middle section. The problem is, there are a lot of enemy ranges that overlap with each other, and the most threatening being the Berserker and Sniper that are in attack stance with each other. Both of them have weapons that can crit. Even fighting the Berserker at 2 range, it will use a tomahawk instead of a hand axe. I'd like to get rid of them now if possible. Before moving everyone in, Jacob heals Corrin. He'll be taking an attack from the sniper on enemy phase. Azama dual strikes for Takumi, though he doesn't actually need to hit. He mainly needs to be in this position to carry Jacob to a faraway tile next turn. Corrin moves up to kill the Berserker.
always count on you.
I need someone else to switch Corrin to the bow so he can counterattack the sniper on enemy phase. The best candidate to do that is Sophie, who's able to get there after a bit of shelter singing. It's very important that Sakura takes Azura from the north tile, as she needs to reach a specific spot next turn as well. The great part about having Sophie attack the sniper is that her personal skill is effectively a weaker version of sealed defense. This is actually required for Corrin to be able to kill the sniper on enemy phase with Takumi's dual strike, as without it, they'd be barely short on damage without Takumi critting with the Fujin Yumi. That's why I got switched to it before Corrin killed the Berserker, as the brass Yumi does not deal enough damage. Quick draw and elbow room from Sophie are also needed for this benchmark. On top of everything else, the single attack unlocks Sophie and Corrin's C support, so in the future, she'll be able to take advantage of supportive.
I'll help you. Thank you. You'll be all right.
The center area is still largely uninhabitable, as the enemies who are able to move around still have ranges that overlap a lot with one another. On the left, there's a Paladin and Omioji that have the exact same range, meaning you're guaranteed to take attacks from both 1 and 2 range if you decide to enemy phase them. You also need a unit that can tank both physical and magical attacks, and luckily for me, Sophie fits that description after some tonics. She doesn't have any 1-2 range equipped, but she does have a lot of HP and pretty respectable resistance. Her defense is only okay, but it's more than enough to survive the enemy phase since the Omioji attacks before the Paladin. The other way around would get her killed. The other enemy that I have to worry about is the sniper in the far back. He has a silver Yumi, so he's actually kind of dangerous, especially if I let him attack with the nearby Oni Chieftain or General. Luckily, there's one tile where this isn't a possibility, which is the tile left of the Dragon Vein. Though that tile is a water tile, and directly behind that is a second water tile, so I need a unit that can cross water tiles, attack from 2 range, and is strong and fast enough to one-round the sniper. Takumi fits that description. Before he goes, he deals some chip damage to the nearby Berserker. This gives Azura an opportunity to give him Sakura, who we will use as a dual strike partner for some more lance training on her, as well as have Orochi heal him to make sure he doesn't die. Sophie goes in range of the Omioji and the Paladin. Asugi will join her shortly after being given to Corrin.
You'll be all right.
Jacob pairs up with Azama and then goes above Orochi to trade Azama away. Jacob and Azura also don't have a lot of chances to support each other on this map, so we deal some chip damage to the Berserker using her dual strike.
Look me in the eyes.
This situation may look pretty dangerous for Jacob, but remember, every single Berserker on this map is completely unable to move no matter what. So this sorcerer that he's also in range of actually isn't able to attack him at all, since the Berserker is blocking his way. This also means that the Berserker is not allowed to use the Silver Axe, but rather the Hand Axe, which is a lot weaker and makes it so he doesn't one-shot Jacob. Jacob does have Tonebreaker, so he isn't actually threatened by the sorcerer, but in a situation where the sorcerer attacks Jacob using the Berserker's dual strike, he would still die because of the Berserker. Especially if the Berserker decides to use the Silver Axe, which he would. Instead of Jacob, we can make the sorcerer fight Felicia, who takes a lot of damage, but doesn't die from it. What I've created is a situation where the Tonebreaker servant wants to fight the Axe guy, and the Axebreaker servant wants to fight the Tome guy.
Sure will be stay
Amazing.
You have my support. Let me help.
Stay alert. Allow me. I'll tag along.
I'll stay with you. Excuse me.
was easy. What now, genius? Coming!
Beginning with the least accurate part of the turn, Hinoka moves above Ryoma and Felicia to apply Rallying Cry to them. After getting switched to the right Shinto, Ryoma can now kill the Berserker on his own, even if Felicia misses.
I've been waiting for this. My strength is yours!
Thank you very much. Yes.
Before continuing with the rest of the action, I have Orochi and Jacob do some healing. Orochi trades away Azama to Kagero, who will be given to Corrin shortly. Jacob then goes to Orochi's left to heal both himself and Setsuna. This is a very rare occurrence where Setsuna's personal skill actually makes a difference, as this also affects Live to Serve and gets them both to full HP. Azura refreshes Jacob, who moves south to heal Felicia. This is just so Jacob can get B rank in staves. Ryoma moves into position to dual strike the Berserker next turn. I'm now in a favorable position to clear out the remainder of the threats in the center of the map. Asugi takes out the Paladin from Sophie's right.
I've got you! I'm here too! Yep.
Sakura is now able to move above Sophie and kill the Yomiyoji using her dual strike.
I can do this. Take this, villain. Very much appreciated.
The final Oni chieftain near the house can get cleared out by Takumi, who once again needs to cross the water to get there.
Allow me! Ha! I'm stronger than I look. Yes.
Obviously, it's dangerous for Takumi to stay in range of the general, which is why I've been keeping Sophie open this whole turn. This allows me to do a rescue drop.
We can win this one.
Kagero gives Azama to Corrin, who is now able to safely visit the house for the first of 3 times. I love this dialogue, so it'd be a crime to skip it.
Oh? Oh my.
It's no longer safe anymore to visit the house, as now a Master Ninja from the north is threatening my position. The Master Ninja itself isn't strong enough to be lethal, but even if my units can survive one enemy, it can cause a snowball effect that ruins my entire plans on future turns. Especially as there's now a ton of reinforcements that will be able to reach me on the next turn's enemy phase if not dealt with carefully. Luckily, I have a unit that can one-shot Master Ninjas. May as well use them. I first have Jacob heal Takumi, as the enemies over there would be lethal to him otherwise.
You have my support.
This is nothing.
Takumi is now in range of 3 enemies that will attack him. A sorcerer with Ragnarok, and 2 adventurers both with silver bows. He kills all the enemies back, so he'll be taking hits from all 3 enemies on this phase. Even with 40 HP, a defense and resistance boost from his meal, a resistance tonic, and the +2 resistance he gets from holding a Yumi, this is not an enemy phase he can survive. We'll have to find some way to divert some of the attention away from Takumi.
Don't overdo it.
To help out, Asugi pairs up with Sakura for the extra movement in order to reach the tile on Takumi's right. She switches Takumi to the dual Yumi to have weapon triangle advantage against the sorcerer, and before separating, I make sure Asugi's holding the dual Shuriken to have advantage over the adventurers. We've also manipulated the sorcerer into not going for Takumi. Out of the 3 units the sorcerer can attack, Asugi has 23 resistance and kills on the counterattack, albeit at weapon triangle disadvantage, making him not the worst option, but still pretty unfavorable for the sorcerer. Then there's Takumi, who has only 14 resistance, but he does have weapon triangle advantage against tomes and kills on the counterattack, so he's not an ideal target for the sorcerer at all. Then lastly, there's Sakura, who has the worst resistance out of the 3 here, and not only can she not kill on the counterattack, she can't counterattack at all. She is the preferred target. This also manipulates one of the adventurers into attacking Asugi, as the only tile the sorcerer can attack Sakura on is the tile directly above Asugi, making it so the adventurers can't reach her as well. Since the sorcerers and adventurers can't go on the water, the only valid targets for the adventurer to the north will be Takumi and Asugi, and it prefers to go for Asugi since he has less HP and less defense.
All taken care of.
I welcome the challenge.
Azama visits the house again, and then I'll perform a short shelter sing sequence to have him talk a 3rd time on this turn.
How strange.
I'll try not to get in your way.
I'll back you up. This is what we've trained for.
You're welcome.
Oh. Yes.
Oh my.
I understand. What? You woke me for this? Okay.
Meet our newest recruit, Mitama. We'll take a closer look at her in a second, but first she needs to take the brass Yumi that Corrin's been holding, as well as transfer him away from Azama. Based on what I've just done, you can infer that she's going to be promoting into Priestess rather than Onmyoji. Mitama is the first instance where I want to take a closer look at the stat inheritance of a unit from the 2nd generation. Reminder that her mother is Hana. Her hair color has been changed to pink through the use of the save editor. The unique thing about Hana is that a lot of the flaws Azama has, Hana fixes for Mitama so she doesn't suffer the same problems, particularly speed, skill, and resistance. She inherited a lot of strength from both of her parents, 3 more than what her base stats are supposed to be at this level, as well as 3 extra skill, primarily from her mother, 2 extra speed, also from her mother, 1 extra luck, but most importantly, 3 extra points in defense from her father. This is a direct cause of Azama being extremely defense blessed, but the most important part about this is that it allows her to end her turn and Rage of the Berserker on her join turn. She'll be at slightly less than full HP thanks to her promoting right now, but she'll still survive on 1 HP thanks to her defense boost. From her mother, she's inherited Vantage. Of the 2 skills she was able to obtain from Hana, this is by far the best option, as it opens up a lot more opportunity for enemy phase combat than what would otherwise be possible. From her father, she obtained Potent Potion. I'm sure I don't need to explain why this is good. Tonics will make Mitama an absolute powerhouse in chapters that she gets deployed in, and if there's ever a moment where she gains too much of one stat from a tonic, I can always either use a meal instead or just take the skill off. The extra HP recovery boost from vulneraries is also nice, but that won't be as important as before changing her class, I'll have her grab Renewal. Orochi takes Corrin from Mitama, and then heals Sophie. Corrin needed to be transferred around since all units prefer to dual strike any unit that they can support with, so Mitama will pick Azama as her dual strike partner, who would have boosted stats from pair up if Corrin hadn't been taken away. Like I said earlier, that would break the rules.
Keep it together.
Be careful.
Victory is sweet.
Let's try our hardest.
Oh, that's it. Not my fault you're weak.
Felicia and Ryoma go to fight with one of the stationary berserkers. This will get Felicia to see an axes on enemy phase.
I've got your back.
I'll help you. Me too.
We've just seen our first legitimate use case for Renewal. Thanks to the magic -2 buff that Ragnarok gives, Sakura was healed to barely enough HP from Renewal to not die on the counterattack when she fights the sorcerer at close range.
I'll stay with you.
We now need to deal with the more immediate threats, the many enemies grouped at this one choke point on the right side of the house. Takumi comes over to take out the Oni chieftain, since enemies with high defense isn't really an issue for him.
You're too slow. Die already.
Asugi goes next to Takumi and chips the general, who Sophie will be able to one-shot after poison strike damage and debuffs.
ready for this?
It may have been smarter to wait on feeding so much into Sophie on this map in favor of Mitama, but the difference shouldn't be that big.
I smell trouble.
Yep.
Hinoka takes the Beast Killer from Sophie and takes out the Paladin.
I'll try not to get in your way.
Victory is mine.
Obviously, now that Hinoka's here, I need to take out the sniper as well. I once again have Takumi do that.
We can do this.
Come on.
I see the enemy.
I hate to do this. That was easy.
Azama and Corrin spend this turn doing some separating.
Let's keep our guard up.
Mitama finishes off the Berserker that she fought last turn.
I'll protect you. Stiff upper lip.
Setsuna goes on the Dragon Vein to lure the adventurer into attacking her. This will open up another opportunity for Hinoka and Setsuna to work together.
I can help.
Okay, let's go. Not strong enough.
Let's go.
Corrin goes into the small safe spot directly above the Berserker's range and switches to the Brass Yumi. He'll be dual striking for Mitama, and while he's at it, I might as well get his bow rank up to D.
Star-crossed.
We won't give up. Need a hand?
Orochi comes over to heal Mitama before enemy phase, as well as give her another adjacency bonus for better accuracy. I've been hyping up the Bolt Axe for so long now, so I might as well let Felicia use it.
Steel yourself.
Whatever works. Yes.
Ryoma chips the Berserker above him with the Kodachi. If he had gotten hit on the last enemy phase, Ryoma and Felicia's roles would have been swapped on this turn. Before Takumi goes away, Kagero uses his dual strike to weaken the Berserker above him, allowing Sophie to kill it.
No mercy. Let me get a shot at it.
Will you be my squire?
Need backup?
Great.
Asugi takes out the Yomiyoji. This critical hit actually ended up helping me more than hurting me. That won't become relevant for a few maps though. Azura places Jacob in range of the Berserker's hand axe again so they can build more support points with each other. Takumi pairs up with Azama to get dropped in range of an Omiyoji and a Master Ninja close to where Sakura is. Since he got hit by the adventurer, Rallying Cry, his resistance and defense meals, an HP tonic, his resistance tonic, and the resistance +2 boost from Yumi's all are required for him to live this enemy phase. He also received a strength meal to one-shot the Master Ninja, as otherwise he'd be relying on Sakura's pretty poor hit rates.
I'm stronger than I look.
We can do this. It's my turn.
Ready for this? I can help too.
Your courage inspires me.
Could be worse. Ideally, she gets out of a magic class as soon as possible though.
I'm ready.
Good.
Corrin goes above the Berserker to use his rally for Mitama,
Here I am.
who will then kill the Berserker without risking a miss.
I will observe from here.
You'll be alright.
Victory shines like the stars.
Orochi heals Mitama again, as she's now in range of the sorcerer in the top left. Mitama's resistance is way better than her defense, so it's fine that she doesn't get healed to full here. Rally's skill also helps out with fixing her weapon triangle disadvantage. Takumi and Azama move to very specific tiles here, as they need to carry Corrin and Mitama over to the other side of the map next turn. Sakura is done for this map, so she can just relax. Over here, I have Sophie chip the Berserker to get Jacob another level up.
Need some help?
You must go. This won't do.
Asugi pairs up with Kagero and goes to the right of Sophie. Before killing the Berserker with a dual Shuriken, he needs to give Kagero away.
Yep.
Setsuna pairs up with Hinoka, who will then be moved over to a space that Azura can sing to Hinoka. I'll admit that a bit of this is slightly improvised, as I forgot to save my notes before starting recording and lost the last couple of turns of the map. The end result for support points and experience here are all roughly the same though, so it's no big deal.
No need to worry.
I see the enemy.
Chika moves to Hinoka's right and weakens the Berserker with Hinoka's dual strike.
Stay focused.
Azura sings below Hinoka, and then Hinoka will kill the Berserker. An optimization that could have been done here was have Azura and Setsuna swap places. That way Hinoka would be able to use Setsuna's dual strike to kill this Berserker, which is obviously much better for support points. That said, I don't hate giving Azura a bit more lance training here, so it's not all that bad.
Good. No need to worry.
I'm here to help. This is my chance.
I am richer for the experience.
Before they go, Orochi heals Mitama to get a little bit of health back. Afterwards, Mitama will pair up with Corrin, who will give Mitama to Takumi and then pair up with Azama. With the extra movement that Azama got, he can drop Corrin directly below the Dragon Vein, where I can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone by giving Mitama back to Corrin with Takumi, as well as use the Dragon Vein to clear the water. This would matter a lot more if Azura and Setsuna had swapped places.
Let's go.
Corrin now gives Mitama to Setsuna, and then pairs up with Jacob. This is another point where Setsuna and Azura swapping places would have mattered a lot more, as I have to spend an extra turn on positioning rather than immediately going to enemy phase the Berserker on this turn. It's still possible to do this by giving Mitama to Hinoka, having Hinoka drop Mitama in range of the Berserker, then having Jacob heal Mitama from 2 spaces away, and finally having Asugi take Kagero back from Sophie, and Sophie taking Corrin from Jacob, and separating the two to guarantee Mitama can still dual strike with Corrin. I did recognize this while playing, but I figured it would be much easier if I just simply waited a turn to advance in order to keep my original plan intact.
This will be enjoyable.
How will we do this? Good luck. Need some help?
Let's have at it.
I'm the caramel to your chocolate.
I spend the start of this turn by having Setsuna and Hinoka work together to chip the Berserker. This battle will unlock their A support, so once Hinoka reaches level 5 on the next time she's deployed, she'll receive skill +2 in Quick Draw before obtaining air superiority. In particular, I'm looking for Quick Draw, as the unfortunate part about Hinoka mothering Caldori is that a lot of Caldori's stats are close to 50% in gross. This means that she has a pretty good chance at getting stat screwed, and having both Quick Draw and Darting Blow can help prevent that, at least on player phase. It also combines well with Caldori's personal skill, which is always nice.
I have written a poem.
Corrin moves south to go next to the Berserker, who I want to have Mitama once again fight. To enable that, Azura has to pair up with Sophie so she can get taken over to where Mitama is.
I'll try not to get in your way. I will be your support.
I don't want to have Mitama actually kill this Berserker, as I want to have Jacob and Azura fight one more time together as well. That's why on this turn, I'm not going to attack the Berserker on player phase and will take an extra turn to kill the Berserker with Jacob instead.
Allow me to join you.
Let's see what they've got.
I'll tag along.
If Asugi gives Jacob the brass shuriken, I can have Jacob deal less damage than he otherwise would, allowing Azura to dual strike for him. This doesn't get Azura any experience, as she doesn't deal any damage, but it does ensure that they get the maximum support points with each other. That's always nice.
How troubling.
Be steadfast.
Here we go. You're too slow.
Next time, we take a detour to our castle to stop an invasion. See you then.
Oh.
Whoa. Well done.
Yes.
Oh?
What?
All right, let's go.
Trouble rarely travels alone.